How are you? We had some technical difficulties. If you're still here waiting in the lobby, thank you. I appreciate it. Vern?
In the lobby.
So Vern, how was your week?
Yep. Oh, I tell you.
Amanda said there's something wrong. The podcast isn't working.
Tell her check now. We delayed it. So.
My week was okay. So far. Just had to go to work.
Lame.
You know, really exciting work.
Yeah, I like my job.
I'm so ecstatic. I can't wait to go back tomorrow to some more work.
Working people.
I like my job. I like my job. Today I ran around to doctors and getting things done.
True.
Did what?
I had to run around and take care of like stupid stuff. Get situated out
You had to
here.
do like weird adult things. You know, that were not pertaining to work, like doctor's visits and stuff.
Oh, even that's boring.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway,
it's probably the worst day I've had since working.
Well, I will say hello, everybody. Welcome to JR, Micheal, and the Beatguy. Obviously, as we indicated last week, JR is offset for the next 2 weeks on a movie shoot. Yay! But we are very, very gracious for our guest host here, Vernon Antonio. What up? What up?
Hello.
Anyway, my week's. So you both are talking about your weeks with work. My week's been great. Pseudo can't complain. The house is clean, you know. I baked him homemade English muffins and made him homemade egg sandwiches on them and put them in the freezer so he could pop them in the air fryer in the morning.
And
like a real good domestic.
Muffins.
I did.
English muffins.
I did. They did not have enough. They did not have enough nooks and crannies though, because I can't use semolina or cornmeal.
Did he drink his tea like this?
No, I drink it like
No, pinky's up. Your pinky must be up. It's only polite.
It's the pinky. Oh, sorry.
I still.
Hey Renee. Hey Danielle. I see you guys. Welcome. Sorry for the delay.
Thank you for being patient with us tonight. That was my fault.
He had tea and crumpets.
Tea and crumpets.
So if we were in England, I would have said I made him muffins, not English muffins.
Muffins. Yeah, why do they call it English muffins? Isn't a muffin a muffin?
I mean, obviously it's different from how we think of muffins here, you know?
Isn't a muffin just something? I don't know, that's ridiculous.
Okay.
Like instead of crackers, we call it biscuits. You have some biscuits.
Oh, that would be cookies.
Oh, cookies.
Cookies are biscuits. Cheryl said, when in doubt, pinky out. That's right. Anyway.
Oh, look at it. I got the bendy straw. I should drink
like this all night.
And I got my pinky
If you don't, if Pseudo's job is to call you out. It's a thing now. Welcome to the next 2 weeks of your life.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to, what edition is this? Is it number 32?
It's some number. Yeah, we're on 32. It says on the top.
Welcome to edition 32 of Random Questions. Are you guys ready to get started?
No.
Let's rock and roll.
Vern supersedes Pseudo, so I will ask the questions despite Pseudo saying no.
That's Pseudo seeds.
That's just, alpha talk.
Okay.
Anyway, question number 1. Did I? Sorry, I had the whole thing open and then closed it because I was closing apps on my phone. Okay. Question number 1. I know, ridiculous over here.
No, Vern's laughing at the comment. Let me pin that comment. That's a good one. that last one's a good one.
He's a little kid.
You're a little kid, Pseudo. You say no, we say yes. Anyway.
I try to tell him, he don't listen. Just like a kid, don't listen.
Anyway, question number 1, starting with some rollovers from last week. Number 1, 2 Belgian teens were arrested for wildlife trafficking in Kenya. What do you think they were trafficking?
Ants. I saw that.
There were 2 little kids in Kenya.
No. Vern just answered it. Ants.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
He said ants. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I could cross that.
This is gonna be a problem.
Let's go.
Vern's good at reading news.
Vernon reads.
I'm
JR's
always
amazing. Vern reads the news and messes this up.
And to be precise, I think it was 200. No, it was 200 acts.
No.
100. No, 300.
No. You don't know it all, Vern.
But I had it in the little tubes with the.
They did have it in the tubes with the cotton. It was 5,000 ants.
Could you imagine them on the flight and like the bag falls? Oh my gosh!
You know, everyone starts screaming as ants are crawling on them. Like, imagine if they're
and
like
you're sitting in everyone's. And the pilot is like, oh!
Listen, some ants will fuck you up. It's not like the ants that you have, like, in the Northeast. Or, like, if you go down south, there's fire ants. And if you've ever been bit by a fire ant, you know that sucks. But, like, other places, it's worse. They have bullet ants and they bite you. It feels like you've been shot by a bullet. Like, some ants are vicious.
I'm going to ask you the question and ask in the comments. What if it... Was it fire ants?
It was not fire ants.
Okay.
No,
As I was
very
just answering.
special. Well, I can't remember what the reporter said. It was some type of like exotic ant, like that people keep as pets. Like imagine you pet ant and you have to take it for a walk. You know, you put the leash over his neck. You're just walking on the road, and everyone's walking with a dog, and you're walking with a pet ant. Okay. All right.
They're just walking around with all these ants.
All right. I got a question though. Like, what ant was it? What kind of ant?
I can't remember the name of it.
It said lesser. It was It says lesser known species.
And how much were they getting per ant? Like, was this worth it?
No.
It was like $5,000 worth or something, or it was $3,000 worth. Yeah.
It was. They were valued at. Okay, so it said. Let me backtrack. So when you said like 200, 400, right, Vernon, you were talking about a previous arrest for somebody else that had been trafficking ants from Kenya.
Oh.
So this has happened before. So previously, there were men arrested actually in Nairobi, and they were found to have 400 ants in their apartments, and that estimated value of those ants was about $7,700.
Right.
Right? So that was estimated value there. So we're talking 5,000. So.
Damn.
Yep.
Damn.
You know, if 400 is 7,700.
Could you imagine you were in prison and you walking out these big tough guys? Hurrah! Yeah, I'm here for murder. Yeah, I'm here for kidnapping. I'm here for carjacking. Why are you here? I try to smuggle some ants.
Yeah. I brought ants illegally across the border.
They're saying like certain.
Real strange.
and not your like family ants. I took like literal ants.
Yeah, you will have to exaggerate. Yeah. They're the giant ants. So
Yeah.
just, big poisonous.
Yeah, Aaron A said an ant took a bite out of Cairo. That's one of my many loved children from my friends once, and she said it literally ripped a chunk out of his finger. I could not get it off his finger. It was horrifying. Yeah, ants will mess you up. Like, people are just like, oh, these little ants. I'm like, no, they'll mess you up. They'll fuck you up.
Yeah, they can, and they will, and they do it intentionally.
Gangsta ants, man.
Yeah. But yeah, so these guys were arrested for having 5,000 ants that they were just wildlife pirating were the words that was being used, because people are saying you're taking lesser known species that are still ecologically important to our area, And you can't be doing that. But they're saying the reason why they're cracking down so hard on it is because it's becoming a trend. So they're used to people like going and poaching their, rhinos or things like that, and they're so focused on that. Well, people are like, well, I can't get that, so they're going for all these lesser known species, and they're like, but this is going to have an impact ecologically, not just for like our resources, but like you might be introducing an invasive species into your, into your home.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, boa constrictors and like exotic snakes. I mean, people do. I mean,
people do it all the time.
Keeping it as a pet. Well, actually, you know what? In the Florida Everglades, I think those people dump a lot of the snakes, those boas.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's starting to mess with. Well, yeah. Okay, I can see that.
Well, invasive species is a problem in general, right? Like, you talk about certain types of hornets are invasive species that kill honeybees. Right. You're talking about lionfish in the Atlantic. They thought they wouldn't survive, but they are. And the problem is that it's just their natural predators aren't here.
Okay.
What's that fish that... the fish that... There's thousands of them. The guy was boating through the river and it just jumped inside the what was that fish called? It's in one of them American rivers, and now it's like a pest, and they can't get rid of it.
Oh yeah.
How about the one that's in the Mississippi that's went down like halfway through it?
Might be it.
And the dams and stuff that they've built to stop them from moving, and they control the flow.
Yes.
Is that the Mississippi?
I think it might be the Mississippi. It might be Missouri.
It's one of them.
Well, the Mississippi goes through Missouri.
Yeah. So they create like these. I don't remember the exact fish or any like. I watched a video on YouTube like a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it was by Tom. There's this guy Tom on YouTube. Tom something. Everyone knows him. Tom Scott. I think his name is or something.
And I think they say that it's a fish that's not even like a fish that they like. It don't have a nice taste to it or nothing, so it's like a useless fish.
Yeah, it was oily, if I remember correctly.
Right, so we look at something as small as ants, and it's like, it's these ants. But really, people have these ant farms. It falls or breaks. These ants get out. They mate with these new ants, and next thing you know, it's like ant arachnophobia up in there. You don't know.
Well,
Dracula ants. Their ants cross, and then it's a big.
Because it's like sci-fi's. It's like sci-fi's. They dreamed up this movie. They're like, this ant was trafficked from Kenya, and the people that were doing it, they got caught in Nairobi, but one of them got away, and these ants made with these other ants, and it made these mutant ants, and these mutant ants are killing everybody. It sounds like a sci-fi movie, but
that would be kind of scary. Imagine like ants killing you to death, like trampling you. Like, that's kind of scary.
Hey, Trippy, don't be late again. We were late too, so you don't need to apologize.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. We were 30 minutes late.
Yeah, we were late. We were late tonight too, Trippy. Thank you for not calling us up for being late.
A. Renee said, "LOL, pirating sounds dramatic." Meanwhile, we're over here talking about mutant ants. It's turned into this.
Yo, pirating doesn't.
In Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, wasn't there like a giant ant in that one?
I don't know.
They should take the ants down to the Mississippi River to get the fish. There you go.
It's been settled.
Yeah.
Maybe the ants can swim so well and just attack the fish. And
maybe these were aqua ants. I don't know. Coming from you, probably not.
Hey, Pseudo, feed the cat, man.
Yo, it's not food. Trust me, it's just.
He wants attention.
Give it a hug or something.
I don't know. I've been trying to get him to be quiet the whole time. I've been putting my hand down there and everything. I'm like,
come here, Grimble.
Give me a treat, son. Give me a touch.
Or I know what movie it was. The movie Them. That old movie with ants.
That's how I'm gonna solve this. Because there's no shutting Grim up.
Door on the cat.
There's no shutting Grim up.
Wow.
He just wants attentions.
When I die and come back, I don't want to be your cat.
No. Grim is my cat.
Oh.
Actually, Pseudo wanted a big fat orange cat, so I got him one, and the cat chose me, and Pseudo feels some sort of way about it.
Come on, go.
And the cat's human. He fed the cat today, and the cat was still meowing, and he goes, "I fed you, me, not your mom."
That's funny.
Yeah, and I'm just like, sorry, man, I don't know what to tell you.
Did he do it dramatically? I fed you.
We made you. What movie is that from? The answer is Maximum Overdrive. You're welcome. Anyway.
Well, thanks for letting my brain process it and like,
I didn't expect most people to know that was from Maximum Overdrive. Anyway, so yeah, we're trafficking ants and small creatures now. So, you know, if you wanted your rhinos and your elephants and your pangolins, too bad. What you're getting are ants.
But I mean, if you think about it, like, I'm sure they have like quadrillions of ants there. Like,
I mean, I'm sure.
like, those guys took like what?
5,000.
Yeah, I mean,
Are they mad that they're trafficking the ants, or are they mad that they're not getting the trafficking money for said ants?
Oh. Are they upset that they lost out?
That's a good question.
There's no answer to this.
I'm sure if the guys came to them and said, "Hey, can we take some ants back?" Oh yeah, sure.
Well, because if you're thinking, if it's if it's 7,700 for 400 ants for 5,000, you're talking about like what, 96 grand?
Damn.
Yeah, man. Just tax them. I'll put a tariff on the
on
ants.
There you
go.
Solves every problem.
I mean, you actually gonna miss 4,000 ants, really?
But like, how did they know? Like, because they found them in the guest house that they were in these test tubes with cotton. So like, who tipped them off? Like, yo, these kids from Belgium are in this guest house here on holiday, but it's not holiday. They're stealing ants.
They were just stealing ants.
It was the queen ant. She was like, she went to file a missing ant report.
I think
they put a APB and, you know, try to track them down.
Here's what stands out to me: when they're trafficking humans, right? They're like, oh, if I don't find you in 48 hours, you're gone in the wind. Like, no one will ever find you. Enjoy your sex slavery, right? But it's 4,000 ants, and they're like, 5,000 ants, and they're like, we got you. We got you. You're not taking these ants.
Yeah.
That reminded me of the story last week with the girl and the shark. Like, you can track, you know, like, you can't track the kids, but you can track the sharks. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Somebody just got eaten by a shark in Israel, so. I didn't get an alert, though. I did get a news article.
Right. All right. Okay. See.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like, you know, but like, I feel like people down the beach weren't like, hey, I need a report that somebody was attacked by a shark, because like everybody knows that sharks are attracted to those waters. And there's not a lot of attacks there. I think they said this was only the 4th attack since like the 1940s or something in Israel. So it's not like, but they said people are there and the sharks swim all around them and people are just like, oh, sharks. You know, like, so, like, what would an alert have done? It would do nothing. I'm just saying. Anyway. Anyway, enough with the ants. Are we ready for question number? I love that you knew that story, Vern. I'm just gonna say. I found like no, you don't have to apologize. I'm like, what a weird news story, and you knew it. I have appreciation for that. Don't apologize. I appreciated that you were like ants. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm an ant guy, you know. I have to keep up with the ant news. You know?
That's okay. I like that you know your business. So are we ready for question number 2, folks?
Yes. Let's go.
All right. Question number 2. Have you heard of the recent arrest of a school principal and teacher following an incident that occurred in January?
No.
I'm waiting to see if Vern read this article.
It occurred in the U.S.? Or?
Yeah, in the U.S.
So in the U.S.,
Actually, guess which state?
Alabama. Oh, it's Florida.
It gotta be California.
It's absolutely Florida.
It's Florida. Like, it's a giveaway.
I just leaned over and stared at Pseudo like that was Trippy's answer to give.
Yeah, it's definitely Florida.
You blame Florida for everything.
I mean, listen, I don't hate Florida, man. I'm riveted. Anyway, so yes, a teacher, a principal of a school, and a teacher of a school were recently arrested for. Oh, you told me not to lean forward. Sorry. Recently arrested for an incident that occurred in January. What do we think they were arrested for?
Wait, hold on a second. Mike, can you hear me? Mic
Yeah.
check. Mic check.
I can hear you.
Someone's telling me to turn up my mic.
Yeah, your mic should be turned up.
All right, turn it up.
So can you hear me now? Because
I can still hear you. Yeah.
I technically don't have a mic.
Oh, I can hear you.
Hold on a second.
I can hear you pretty fine. Guys, out there in the comments, let us know how we're doing with our mics. Like, I think Caitlin's a little loud.
Mic check a 1, 2,
I was
3,
also
4.
I was
Mic
leaning
check a
forward to
1.
my mic like you told me not to.
Microphone stand. Mic. Maybe I should lean. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
We know why that was such a good marketing trend now.
Yeah,
How is this? How is this? Is this
I hear
better?
you fine. I don't know about everyone else. Pseudo isn't following up on any comments if there are any.
No, there's none right now. At least that's not.
Miss Harvey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we're caught up.
Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
Vernon mic needs to be a little louder.
You,
Hey guys,
someone,
from
okay, they say
Washington, yo!
you're all something now.
JR's in the comments, and we're all having fun here. going
Hey,
over
from
mic volumes with everybody.
Washington. What's up,
Wait,
JR, Michael?
Let me get my tea. Hello, Mr. JR. How are you doing today?
Wait, does he have the fingers up? The comment was pinned.
Yeah, I'm
he has
trying.
his
I'm
pinky
trying.
up, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Pseudo pinned the comment and it blocked your fingers, and I needed to make sure.
Yeah, we
It's-
couldn't see your finger.
It's vital. I think next week we'll have to bring in tea. I'm just saying. I'll make cookies, okay?
You know what? That's a good idea.
I like tea. I'm
As
here
a matter
for
of fact, that's a good idea. I was gonna bring my I have a real funny mug with a face. Remind me next week.
Oh, listen, the amount of different mugs I have, it's going to be very difficult to choose. Anyway, so question 2. Yeah, this principal and this teacher in Florida were arrested after an incident that happened in January. What do y'all, because it's Florida, think the incident was?
I don't know.
They stole the kids' lunch.
That would be fun,
Yeah.
no?
No, they were reselling school supplies.
Oh my gosh, that would be dark. No. Ooh, look at the way you think.
Go out
Wow.
there, Tony.
They stole all the chalk from the school and hid the blackboards.
JR, if you're
I
still
like
there,
it, I like
put a guess
it.
down there, JR, if you're still there.
Yeah.
I'll pin that right away.
Okay, are you ready for what happened? Are you
Yeah.
guys ready? Are you ready here? Does anyone in the comments want to make a guess? Money laundering.
Someone said money laundering.
Yeah,
Okay,
money
okay.
laundering.
Are we ready for the answer?
Yeah, give us the answer. Throw it out here. Were they trafficking trippies?
Listen, there's only one Trippy,
Yeah, but
and he's ours, and he does OnlyFans for cakes and gummies.
and he definitely is like a Florida man. He's definitely like a Florida man.
Yeah, he's our own rendition of Florida Man. Anyway, so they were arrested. The article I got was from NBC News and it was written by Phil Helsel.
Phil Helsel.
And they were actually arrested because there's body cam footage that showed like a teacher was trying to talk to the police when they were breaking up a party of 100 minors that were drinking alcohol at the principal's home.
Damn.
Okay.
Everyone's guess. I'm pinning them all in rotation right now, so you can know how wrong you were. No.
Yeah. So yeah, a Florida teacher and a Florida school teacher and an elementary school principal were charged in
Elementary.
were charged in connection with a house party where minors were drinking, including one that was so drunk he needed treatment. This
How
happened at the
how
principal's home.
how
At the
young
principal's
was
home.
the youngest person there?
Oh.
I do not know how young the youngest person there was, but I do know that the kid that required treatment for alcohol poisoning was 17.
Because
Really?
where I'm from,
Where I'm
well,
from.
I'm not sure if they're still doing it now, but back as a young boy, I mean, grandma and grandpa would be like, hey, here's a little shot. You know?
I think that's a little bit different than
I mean-
having 100 teenagers at
Is
your
it?
house drunk when you're a school principal.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
like how I mean, how did they not expect some? Wait, hold on. Was it you said it was at their house?
It was at the principal's house, dude.
No, I got a question.
So who drove the kids there?
I don't know. It was the kids could drive at 16.
The parents?
It's Florida. They could drive at 16.
Okay, fine.
All right. Well, no, even thinking about this though, like, you know that high school principal was picked on in school, and now he just wants to be a part of the cool kids.
She.
Ah,
She. Yeah.
like
So
I don't
I'm gonna
know.
say this is the
What was he
result of
thinking?
bullying.
what's going on with your camera?
I have no idea. Like, did you think you were not going to get caught?
Yeah, right. I mean, a lot. I don't know.
I'm baffled by the stupidity more than anything.
Maybe they wanted to get caught. I mean,
Maybe.
Yeah.
maybe they
I mean,
wanted
that's entirely
attention,
possible.
and maybe they wanted a raise or something, and they refused to give them a raise, and they're like, "Hey, you know what? We going out hard. You know,
F it.
Yeah. We get
Yeah.
drunk with the
So they said
$20.
the teacher that was there approached and identified herself to the police when they showed up, and it showed that she was appearing to slur words, and the officer was talking to her, and he was like, the officer said to her, there was like 200 kids here drinking, and she said, I've already known. And then the officer told her that she's also drunk and he could smell it, but she denied it. And the officer then, she was, trying to, like, I guess, manage the situation. But then the officer said to the teacher, you're here with your boss having a party with 200 kids who are drinking. Get out of my face.
200.
Yeah, they said that's what the officer said to her verbatim. It was a quote, but it was like they said like 100 minors. Yeah.
Damn.
Well, they said 100 minors. They said 200 kids. So that who knows? Some might have been over 18 and still in school. You don't know.
Sounds like this principal found more minors than West Virginia.
Yeah, so the principal is charged with 1 count of child neglect, 5 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor,
Yep.
and 1 count of holding an open house party.
Apparently,
Holding an open house party is a charge.
What happened to the 200 counts?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Only 5?
I'd say
Yeah.
the movie that's going to inevitably be made about this is just called, like, 1 count of holding it.
Oh, no. House party, teacher edition. House party, Florida man, house party edition.
No, just the it has to be the criminal
200.
charge. 1 count
Who
of holding
wants
a party.
200? Who
Listen.
wants 200 noisy kids at a house anyway? I mean, ugh.
Honestly, 100 to 200 noisy drinking teenagers. Like, gosh, no.
I bet you they were like...
Listen.
They definitely sold tickets to this. It wasn't just a one-off thing.
Ooh, you know what? That's an interesting suggestion,
Yeah, they definitely sold tickets to this. They were definitely like,
Well,
give me money.
Wait,
Yeah.
weren't they trying to raise money maybe for the football team or something? And it just got out
And
of
it got out
hand?
of hand. You know what? I could
Yeah.
see that, but they don't have any details like that in the article.
And knowing kids, I don't trust teenagers. The teenagers probably smuggled some alcohol in or raided the the drink cabinet or something. I don't know. Something there it don't sound right.
Right, and at that
Something
point, if
wrong.
you're a principal, you're like too scared to call
Right,
anybody because you're like, well, I'm gonna get in trouble no matter what. Maybe it'll just go away.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
Maybe he saw one kid drinking and he said, "Oh, my career is over. You know what? I might as well just throw in the towel." You know.
I might as well crank one out
He's
too.
like, I'm doing
Yeah.
it too. Like, let's do this
Yeah,
together.
so they said the cop said to them 200, but they said there were they said they found around 100 juveniles there. So I'm wondering how many students were not juveniles, you
Yeah,
know?
those kids definitely
Listen,
went to high
you
school.
know, you know if you are doing, I don't know, 60 and a 55, you know the cops are always gonna lie and say you're doing 70. So I mean, maybe the
Yeah.
cops are just exaggerating, you know. Strange story though, real strange.
Well, you're all welcome for that.
I don't think they're
I saw this article and I was like, ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
How dumb can you
Yeah,
be?
sounds-
That's all I thought. How dumb are you?
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more to the story.
Yeah,
That's
there
what
definitely
they're
is a lot more to the story, but like the amount of money they made.
Right, but this
I
is
wanna know
this
that
is a
number.
story I want to see more about. Like this may be like a follow up if we get more information.
Yeah, they don't usually let the follow up on stuff.
Yeah, I follow up with
Because-
stories when I get follow ups on here. Sometimes we'll see.
Yeah.
Are there any comments?
200 noisy kids.
Hey, comment down below what's your thoughts on this. Like
What would you
do
do?
with 200 noisy kids in your living room?
What would you do if you were one of
I'll
their
put them
parents?
Put them out.
Yeah,
Where's the
damn right.
pasture? We're putting them out.
Yeah, just kidding them out.
Put them out to the pasture.
You know, it'd be one of those things, like, if we had kids and I came home and they were having this whole house party, I'd kick them out, my kid would be grounded, but, like, once everything was cleaned up behind closed doors, I'd be, like, looking at Vinny, like, I'm proud they did something I never did. Good for them. You know, like, like my brothers definitely had parties when my parents were away, but I didn't.
I had some good parties when my parents were away. But
I have a story sort of like my two daughters were conspiring behind my back, and I found out about it, right?
Uh-huh.
And I did the typical ah! But then I went to mom and I said, "Yo, that was pretty good."
Exactly.
I was like, I didn't even thought of that, and they actually work together because they're always fighting each other. I say, "Hey, honey," and they work together and had a plan and everything. And she's looking at me like, "What's wrong with you?" But I was like, but think about it though, you know. They came up with a plan and they executed the plan. And it was flawless until I came and figured it out.
Right. I
You
feel
know,
like it's so hard to be a parent because your kids will do something and you're like, I have to be mad, but because they, I don't want them to get hurt or they shouldn't do this or they shouldn't lie to me. But like, you're also like, I'm secretly proud of the mischievousness, of the thought, of the planning, the teamwork. Yeah. Like, as a parent, you're like so proud of this on some level.
I'm just waiting for that phone call. Oh yes, your kid was in a fight at school and beat up the bully, and I come to school like, what's wrong with you? Oh, I told you. They get in the car. Did you win? Did you win?
Oh, listen, hey Renee, what do you have to say about that?
Oh, man.
Hey Renee, what do you have to say about that?
I shared a comment.
No, listen, she can tell you all about her fights with the school when her kids beat up their bullies.
Yeah, man. Did you win? Did you win? Did you hit him in his face?
Or who was it? Was
nice.
it Trippy? Trippy, your son too, right? Is Trippy still here?
I don't know. He probably passed out.
He might have. He worked late. Yeah, Trippy too. His son, our nephew. Same thing. He called us and he was like, "Oh, somebody was bullying him," and we found he decked him, and I was like, and he got like suspended, and I'm like, he's not getting punished, is he? And he was like, "No, his mom's taking him to get ice cream." I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Oh my goodness.
Renee said, and then teach them how to do it right.
No, that was George.
Yep.
Oh, that was George.
Yep.
Yeah, George did teach them how to do it right. Damn right.
I
was like, yeah. So next time, okay, it was a good plan, but next time try this. and I'll do it this way, and do it around this time.
Listen,
Right?
I've never been in a fight in my life.
Vern's gonna be in the backyard. All right, so this is how you square up. Okay, you line everything up, and then when you're ready to go in, you just kind of like side swipe, drop it down a little.
Listen, I was bullied, but I've never been in a fight in my life. Not that my brothers didn't like teach me how to throw a swing, but like Pseudo was around actually when I was like learning how to throw a punch, because my brothers, when I was an adult, were like, I can't believe you've never been in a fight. So Pseudo and my brothers were all trying to teach me how to fight, and Pseudo's showing me in my childhood kitchen. And like he was like, all right, now you're gonna take a swing, but he wasn't, I guess, ready for the swing or didn't think I would, and I accidentally popped him in the face. Like the little graze, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, I've never punched anyone. Like, on some weird level, I'm a little proud of myself, but then he's like, I can't believe you're so domestically violent. And I was like, you're awful!
I still tell her all the time she practiced DV.
He made me feel so bad, and I was like, oh, it's the first punch I've ever thrown. Be nice to me.
And it was done domestically.
Yeah, so. I teach all my kids how to fight, how to defend themselves.
Yep.
I show them a lot of martial arts, and I still want to grab you by your shirt, how to, twist their arm, and listen. I'm teaching them how to just protect themselves.
Right. See, I was definitely taught never to lay a hand unless they laid a hand on me. Unfortunately for me, it was mainly psychological warfare. So I never actually got into a fight, but I became a therapist, which, like, the epitome of that is psychological warfare, I don't know.
So you fight in the mind. There you go.
Yeah. But, this is what I'll say. I hate bullies, but I think I have a great sense of humor because of it. I can really laugh at myself. But, yeah, A. Renee said I get those calls. She goes on to tell the school straight up, oh, well. Listen, if the school won't do anything about it, my kid's going to defend them themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
Teach my kids always defend yourself.
My dad taught us how to fight. Taught us a lot.
Hey, I went to an all boys school, and you had no choice but to learn how to fight. Every day was a fight at school. Every day. Mm-hmm. And that's how you become tough, real tough too. All right. Well, what do we have next?
All right. Next up. Sorry, I was reading comments. Good night, Danielle.
Oh.
I was reading some of the comments that were there. All right. Question number 3. You've all heard about the Fire Festival, right?
Oh yeah, the greatest festival ever. It was. I can't wait I can't wait until Ja Rule opens for the next one.
Wait, is that Burning Man?
No. Oh my God, I would love to go to Burning Man. Okay, because it just looks dirty and great. Okay, no, Fire Festival is a festival that this person had created, saying he had got this full lineup. The venue was set. It's on, I forget whatever island. This was a few years ago.
Island. Oh yeah.
And everybody showed up, and there was like no accommodations, no food. Like people got these flights. Their flights were okay. That was Fire Festival. Have you heard about Fire Festival 2?
Yes, I just did some really trippy stuff with my camera.
They want to bring 2 after 1 failed.
Oh.
But wasn't one sort of like a scam?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, it was this whole issue, and I'm pretty sure he had to pay a lot of money for that. But he decided, I'm going to try it again. I'm doing Fire Festival 2.
No, they're trying again. They're bringing Fire Festival back. Oh my God. Yo, George.
The same island?
I see you out there. We're going to Fire Festival together later this year.
The same island?
Nope.
Where? Staten Island?
I'm not going to Fire Festival. That'd be, oh my God, that'd be so scary.
Okay, so it's actually,
you talk about that for the rest of your life.
Alright, so he was scheduling Fire Festival 2. The event is scheduled to take place in Mexico from May 30th to June 2nd. Now, I got this article from ABC News, right? And it was written by Aaron Katursky and Angeline Jane Burnaby, okay? So it's the initial one was set to take place in the Bahamas. Bill McFarland was convicted of wire fraud in connection with the failed 2017 festival. I can't believe it was that long ago. Anyway, so he was creating Fire Festival 2 for this year, right? And this used the slogan, "The Fire Festival 2 is real," with tickets starting at $1,400. But now a message was sent to this is from last week, and there's an update from this week, so I'm going to tell you both things. So last week, a message was sent to ticket holders saying the event has been postponed and a new date will be announced. We've issued you a refund. Once the new date's announced, at that time you could repurchase if it works for your schedule. Because the tickets went on sale in February. Now, people bought these tickets, right? People bought them. Even after the first one, people bought them. Now, this person said that they had music, art, cuisine, comedy, fashion, gaming, sports, all this stuff set up at Isla Mujeres in Mexico, right? And said that, you know, they set it up with the Quintana Tourism Department and all of that in Playa del Carmen. But the Quintana Roo Tourism Department in the Playa del Carmen said that there was no event of that name that was to be held there.
Alright, I'm calling it. This is totally some weird money move here. Where they're taking money from people, investing it in something, and turning it back to them afterwards.
Yeah.
And they're rotating it, and this is what they're doing. And they're getting a whole bunch of people to give them the money instead of getting a loan. And all they are is turning the money afterwards. I'm calling it. There's going to be some weird stuff in the future we hear about.
Yeah, they're putting the money in Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin go up, and then they just sell the Bitcoin and then take the difference and give you back the, you know.
Well, McFarland was convicted in 2017, so McFarland turns around after they said, hey, there's no event of this name happening, and then he said, you know, I don't know why this government's acting this way and claiming that there was nothing planned, you know? So he postponed, last week he had postponed Fire Festival 2. Okay? Are you ready? Are you ready for this week's update? Because this is... I wrote this question last week, but I have an update.
Okay.
I did not get the article.
What's going on with your camera?
My camera's acting up. Continue going.
You know you can switch your phone, right?
Yeah, my camera's overheating. I'm switching to the other camera.
So...
Okay,
so let me... I'll just continue while he fixes the camera, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The update from this week. Fire Festival 2 isn't just postponed. Fire Festival is now for sale.
Huh?
That's the update. Fire Festival is for sale.
Oh, that is crazy.
So from one scam to another scam, man.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
The founder said it's time to pass the torch.
Really?
I mean, there is kind of a brand, right? And if you think about it, in 2017, he did this whole thing, got convicted of wire fraud, right? But there's been a Netflix documentary about this. People all know about it. There's things sold about it. And now you start this whole thing with a Fire Festival too, right? But then you're like, this is all happening. And people are dumb enough to buy tickets. Why would you buy tickets for this thing? Like, oh, he would never do the same thing twice. Well, no, you're right. He didn't, because he refunded, quote unquote, those tickets, because I guess now you can't get arrested for it. But it's obviously all a fraud. Like, because why would the Department of Tourism in Playa del Carmen lie about that? Like, it would bring tons of money to the area.
What if it's a money laundering scheme where, including the Mexicans also, maybe they are in it? And, you know, he puts the money in Bitcoin. Bitcoin shot up. He just, you know, made millions of dollars, paid off the Mexican.
And now he's selling the brand. Yeah. And listen, it is a brand. It is a brand. Right. As ridiculous as it sounds.
Well, it's not a franchise, but yeah, it's a brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we should buy it.
Oh my gosh! I wonder how much he's selling it for.
I would love to own Fire.
How could you imagine if we were able to own Fire Festival?
We are the Fire Festivals.
Fire Festival?
What would we even do? Oh my gosh!
We will use the same house that the principal and the teachers use for their party. But this time we won't have no mine. But this time we won't have minors.
So we're going from the little version of it to the big version.
Fire festival, but locally.
Yeah.
But no minors allowed.
Yeah, that includes the people who are
problem solved.
watching Minecraft.
Listen, that principal's gonna need money for legal fees, so we just gotta get a permit and we'll be set.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, how large was their house anyway? Was it a mansion or something?
I have no idea.
That's a good question because they're just a principal. There's no way that they're making enough money to throw a party for 200 students.
Listen, principals do pretty well. Are you kidding me? You know how much they make? Teachers don't. Principals do.
Oh, what's the principal?
Principals and superintendents.
Superintendents make stupid money.
Yeah, I saw an article where a superintendent made like $400,000 or something. I mean, that's how much the president makes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Not sure why. It's crazy, man.
Insane. Insane. So
insane in the membrane.
I love that they postponed the whole festival and now they're brand selling. Here.
Well, it makes sense. It's like
that's a huge undertaking. I don't know why people would even
want to do that.
Like Burning Man. Someone dies at a Burning Man every year.
Yep.
And it's always they're always stuck in the mud. And they always have to be towed out. There's always and then there's mud everywhere, and nothing goes right, but people still go anyway.
Hey,
I still kind of want to go.
I'm still planning on going to Burning Man with George this year because
I like part of the show they have with Burning Man is the light show. I like that a lot. That's something that I would like to see in person. But I know
you need to bring
out.
You just have to be prepared, and people go there unprepared.
Yeah, you gotta
You have to bring. You have to bring what you're bringing in, and what you have to also remove the waste that you're taking out. Yeah. So if you're not bringing in enough supplies for you to be at Burning Man, that's going to be a problem. But people there are also apparently, if you watch documentaries, people are there will also do trades or give you water, this and that, or sell it. So even if you have money, you'd be able to survive.
The problem with Burning Man is getting out. For some reason, they're always stuck in mud. Last time it was like a whole mud thing, and people had to drive miles around and try. It's just
imagine
getting out.
Driving through all of that mud while on all those drugs. Gosh.
Yep. Oh yeah. Let me think about that. Huh.
Honestly, I think
that should be a very interesting experience. Think about it.
You have to think with Burning Man, it's just
make a movie about that.
A lot of you have to think people are extremely high, and it's mud and dirt and dust, and you're dehydrated. And I'm
and people were walking
of course
for miles.
Somebody dies.
People were walking for miles trying to get out of there, miles and miles and miles. That is crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, the only time I walk miles and miles is when Miles walks over.
Yeah, but in the desert. I mean, it's like a freaking desert.
Yeah.
Have you ever talked with Miles? The conversation's really dry.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Anyway, we'll move on to question. No comment. We'll move on to question number 4.
I plead the fifth, Your Honor.
Moving on to question 4. Have you heard of the 83-year-old woman who drove a race car?
No, I don't think so.
No.
This came from the Good News Network.
Oh, our dude.
Good news!
Well, the name is Andy Corbley, but it actually stopped listing the name of the author on this website a few weeks ago. I wonder if it's because I keep bringing him up. Yeah. I know the name permanently now, so joke's on you. If this is written by you, I know it.
So the Good News Network, he probably hired writers and he feels some sort of way about it.
Andy Corbley.
He's I don't want to credit you guys, but I have a bunch of ghostwriters now underneath my pseudonym.
I'm Googling Andy Corbley. Hold on. This might be more interesting.
Yeah, let's find this out. Does he have a ring of writers?
Andy Corbley, journalist.
All right, we have a segment on Andy Corbley.
Oh,
this will happen weekly. Let me get up his image.
Question
He
number
is the
5.
founder
Who's
and
Andy
editor of
Corbally?
World at Large, a small environmental travel and lifestyle focused journal that stresses integrity, nuance, and honesty. He's
That
also
means that they'll
Andy Corbley from
that
the Good News Network. I always read you his articles.
once they use those
Like
words,
this?
integrity, that means that they're lying.
No, that's Connolly, not Corbley.
How do you spell it?
Oh God.
Corbley.
Okay.
Trippy E is like, that's a dope grandma, dope ass grandma.
Yeah, I
Get
said
that
Andy
right.
Corbley and he put in like Andrew Connolly. I don't even know.
Just give up, man. Just give up.
Yeah.
All right, tell us about grandma while he's trying to
Yeah,
find
grandma.
Andy.
So an 83-year-old race car superfan got to actually take a spin behind the wheel. So when she was a kid, her brother drag raced and she loved it, right? Loved everything about drag racing, but being a woman, there wasn't really an opportunity. And they decided to have a powder puff derby, but it got rained out and there was never an opportunity again. So there's actually an organization that is like, it's a charity arm through AARP called Wish of a Lifetime. Yeah, I know. It's called Wish of a Lifetime.
That's funny.
I know. And they grant wishes to like to people in their lives. So she's been always wanted to do this, was a fan of NASCAR. So Wish of a Lifetime, the charity arm through AARP, essentially gave her dream and set her up at Pikes Peak International Raceway in Colorado with like friends, family, all that people in the crowd, and let her drive a race car around the track. And then while they actually had a race car driver in her passenger seat, and then after the words, he kind of drove the car around the track with her. So she pretty much said, she was pretty much saying like, I want to drive as fast as I could go, maybe 130. I mean, they go much faster than that, but she got to drive around it. And she pretty much said she made it. Nothing will ever top this. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I could get in a race car, but I did.
And then next week she went skydiving.
Oh my gosh.
I said the same thing.
I've heard about 90-year-olds, people going skydiving and stuff.
Yeah, but then the next week she went skydiving and said, "No, this is it." And then the following week, she climbed to Mount Everest.
Yeah,
said, this is the best. then the following week she went to space in that space capsule. Then she's like, "This is it."
And then the week following that, AARP raised her rates.
Trippy said that sounds like a dope ass grandma, and let us know he's gracing our comment board from the shower.
Yo.
Honestly, I used to, we call it rally driving back in my countries, to do that when I was younger, but that's something that I would like to do again. I like fast cars.
You strike me
so,
as a rally racer.
Oh, you'll have to come out for the Indy 500 then.
Yeah, come out for that.
I will have. If I come out for it, I want to be in it though. That's the difference. I don't want to be a spectator.
Okay, I'll throw you into the ring.
No, I was seriously looking into becoming what are the steps I will have to make to become a race car driver? And it's like college. It's like, I'm like, oh, you got to pass this test and that test and do this and do that. I'm like, come on, just say we don't want you to race.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's people.
And then you have to. And then I see the guys that you did race car drivers in the gym working out. And I'm like, okay, wait.
I've met.
Well, no, because I mean,
I don't get it.
Stuff already.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I don't want to go to any NASCAR races, but I feel like now that we moved to Indiana, we do have to do the Indy 500 because it's like right there.
Have to.
Like we have
like,
to, just a life experience.
Yeah.
And the Kentucky Derby is not just a couple hours away. Really, it's expensive to go, but I want to wear a fancy hat and drink a mint julep. But
and drink a tea.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. But I definitely feel like if there's any racing I would probably be into, it'd probably be like more like Formula One stuff, like through actual cities.
makes sense.
I
this fits your character.
I like the best thing I like about rally racing is that the challenge of racing a car through small streets, all these corners, and you have to master changing gears, not automatic. You got to master shifting and clutching. Oh, I missed that so much.
Right, exactly.
And
Yeah.
That I think I would actually like. That would
I love it. You lift the car up, you go over the hill, and the cars flow over the hill, and you don't know what's around the corner. Oh, I'm getting excited.
See, that exactly. And I've said this to Pseudo so many times. I've said, NASCAR, like, it's not really my thing. I'm sure if you're actually there, it's probably fun because it's a fun environment. But I'm not going to put it on TV. I'm not going to watch it. I said, but Formula One, I was like, ooh, I would like some Formula One. Yeah.
I never understood. What's the point of going around a circle for like 4 hours? Like, this is so boring.
Well, the point of going around
this NASCAR is going around. Like, why?
The point of going around it for 4 hours is you get to the finish line.
But it's not a circle,
You're
though.
such a dick.
But it's like they're moving the finish line. They keep moving the finish line.
Not yet.
I just can't get it. You can't fight it. Where's the finish line?
It's just never there.
Right before you're about to get it, they're like, oh, you're almost there.
Listen.
Oops.
Women.
Every other time, they're like, hey, just keep going.
Women know that
Listen. This time. Go a little slower
all right.
this time.
Women know this exact feeling. Women know that exact feeling.
Go around and around and around and around and around.
You're almost there. You're almost there. A little faster, a little slower.
Watch crash.
Wait. Let's say it's 15 laps, right? All right.
Oh, you finished. You thought you were one because you were first.
You crashed and told 8
Listen,
people.
If I learned anything about NASCAR, Danica Patrick made it be known that a woman should never come in first.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to freeze. I'm just going to freeze. I'm going to do an internet freeze.
Oh, I could make that happen.
MK said I want to be like her when I'm old, meaning the 83-year-old riding a race car.
Yeah.
Nah, we're doing it now. We're doing it now, not at 83.
You could drive a race car out here. They have like different track experiences, and if you go to Kentucky, you could do the Corvette experience. Wasn't that in Kentucky?
Where's he going? Where are you going? Stay still.
Trip.
Yeah.
Trippy says America. That's why.
America.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So yes.
Why wait so long? 82. Wait, hold up.
Pseudo, stop it.
I'm putting it back. I'm messing with everybody.
Just leave it right there. Leave it right there. No, leave it there.
He can't help himself.
Sit still. I'm done.
Anyway, okay, I'm done. I'm done with the NASCAR thing. But I think that woman's cool. I didn't know that there was essentially a Make-A-Wish for adults. That was my second fact. There. Wish of a lifetime.
Let me see what shall I wish for. Let's see. What do I wish for? All right, I'll keep that to myself.
As soon as we join AARP, I'm gonna put in a wish. I'm gonna be like 51, like let's join AARP, and I'm gonna put in my wish.
Damn.
Yeah, I'll tell them. I wish to be alone. Just leave me alone.
Really?
There you go.
Wish?
Yeah, that's what I'll tell them. Tell AARP, just leave me alone.
I would be such a dick. I'd be like, I wish that I could afford to retire AARP.
I wish they all just disappear.
All
be
right.
a grumpy old man. I'd be so grumpy.
I was just about to comment about that. My wish is My wish is that the kids on the block are fucking silent. No one makes a noise. No one enters my yard. That's my only wish.
I wish these 200 kids would get out my damn house and take the ants with them. You know, I'll be the grumpiest old man ever.
Yeah.
They made a movie about grumpy old men, you know.
There you go. I wish they all disappear. Anyways.
Anyway, are we ready for question number 5?
Yes.
Yeah. What's Trippy say?
Just can someone read Trippy's comment?
Yeah, Trippy said.
Beat your wife. Oh, go ahead.
No, you do it. I want to hear it come from your voice.
Yeah, come on.
Oh no, I'm not reading that. I'll let you read it.
Question number 5.
No one read it.
Beijing held an interesting half marathon recently.
Okay.
Turtles.
Who do you think raced?
Turtles.
Okay, not turtles. Pseudo, what do you think?
What country is this?
Where is Beijing? Ants. Where is Beijing?
Okay, so China. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't catch that part. All right. I'm gonna go fire ants.
See.
I'm gonna go fire.
No,
ants.
the race air. I'm
gonna go ants, and that's why they were trafficking the ants in the beginning of this.
No,
No,
dope! I want to be their ant races.
Or was it marbles?
Marbles. I love marble races. Don't get me started.
Yeah.
No.
By the way, on YouTube, Jelly's marble races, the best place.
Yeah, I love marble races. Don't even mess.
Don't leave here for that.
We were way too obsessed with that during COVID. Anyway, how about in the comments? Do we have any guesses?
Yeah.
It was a half marathon race that they recently had in Beijing. Who do you think raced?
Well.
Wait, is that the one that they had during that storm? During the hailstorm?
There was no hailstorm mentioned in this article. I did get this article from AP. I did get this article from AP News.
It was NASCAR drivers. They only had to do 3 laps.
No, that would be great.
The race air against air. There you go.
Air against air. Nope. So they did have humans do the half marathon, but they also had humanoid robots.
Oh yeah, you're right. Hey,
did the robots win? Are the robots starting to take all the awards?
No, but that was canceled because of they canceled it because of the storm that they had a big windstorm, and then they canceled it, and then
I didn't read anything about that. This wasn't canceled.
No,
this actually happened.
No, it was canceled.
No, listen.
Oh, okay.
Right, because they had it was last week, weekend before last, there was a big windstorm or some kind of storm that they had.
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere, so they canceled it, and then
they had humans run the half marathon, but they also had humanoid robots run the half marathon. But as a precaution, they put a divider separating the courses parallel with people on one side and robots on the other. And my takeaway is, wow, we just got humanoid robots and they're already segregating them.
No.
That was my immediate thought when I read that.
No, because the robot that they're pushing, that they're is like the big deal in China. It keeps collapsing, keeps falling over on people, or sometimes it starts to spaz out and like do crazy stuff. So that's why they have to separate them. I'm sorry, I'm a geek. I'm sorry.
No, I like the
You're
geekiness.
justifying the separation of robots and humans.
No, yeah, because the robots, they're very unpredictable. Like the way, I don't know, sometimes it walks and then there's a scene where the robot was trying to hit it was just stupid.
Aaron, I said, is it the cheese
violent robot? It was a violent robot.
It was a violent robot. Hey, I like a lot of the robot stuff going on, like the echo suits that they have that you could pick up triple the amount of your body weight. That's pretty cool. You know, like the exoskeleton suits that they have. Mm-hmm. Those are pretty cool. I don't know much about this robot. I just know
it kind of reminds me of NASCAR a little bit, because what they did is with the robots they'd have pit stops, right? They could do battery changes and stuff like that. So they had a battery swap pit stop. for
Hey,
the
you just give me
humanoid robots.
you just give me an idea. How about since they're pushing self-driving cars so much, how about we have a NASCAR but with self-driving cars racing each other?
Ooh. And then
Mm.
there's no loss
And
of
they stop,
life issue.
and they have to stop and charge themselves and change, all the
And it's
tires.
all
That's
about
different.
who can program better.
Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They're
That I'll
about
go and see.
NASCAR's lobbyist is about to shut this shit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
We were
Yeah,
just
I know.
taken down from this live video. That only happened once in our history. Maybe twice.
Was that when you were screaming "power to the pussy" too much?
Yes, I was screaming "Power to the pussy."
We did that last week, but not too much, so we didn't get taken down.
Yeah. Someone was offended.
Anyway, so they looked at of the non-humans. The person who took first was they crossed the finish line in 2 hours, 40 minutes, and 42 seconds. It was the Sky Project Ultra Robot, also known as Teen Kung Ultra. And they gave awards out for best endurance, best gait design, and most innovative form.
Wait, endurance for a robot? You mean
Yeah,
best longest charge?
I would assume so. Like if you need less pit stops, right?
I would say not even less pit stops, but like maybe your bearings just last longer. And
Longest battery charge.
Because you gotta think about like how many pivot points are in a lake. How many pivot points? When you're making something like that, you gotta think about pivot points.
Hey, Renee said she was called a humanoid once and asked me if I remembered. And then she said humanoid slam pig. And I want her to know that I 100% remember that because that's not a moment your best friend forgets when witnessed.
Okay, humanoid.
Can't wipe it on your mind.
Hey, Vern. You're a humanoid slam pig.
I was just...
I can't believe I just said that.
Oh my gosh. It's such a good insult in hindsight.
He's just staring at me like, what did you just say to
my
me?
question is how far they want to take this robot thing? How far they want to take this AI? Like everything's getting smarter and smarter and smarter. Like what's the end goal here? Like, and don't say humans. Don't say get rid of humans because but it's like every day.
All right, I got a question.
Hold on.
Let him
Every day
finish.
they say everything is so intelligent. It's doing this now. It's doing that. No, like what's the end goal here? I don't understand it. And I'm a technology guy, right? Hardcore, but I reached a point where I'm like, all right, wait, why?
I don't know what the end goal is. No one does. But I have some fun theories. One theory could be that the end goal is that we end up putting our brains in robots and living on forever. And
That sounds awful.
we have infinite life per person.
Listen, I like life, but I think
But at what rate does the brain deteriorate?
the thing is I like life, but the opportunity that there is beyond come your time is also to me probably a beautiful thing. So just being made to live on and on and on in robot form where you can't really feel, it just sounds awful.
Or the end goal is to make sex bots
Cherry 2000s
that can move their legs very rapidly.
Well, they have those already. I mean,
that can move their legs.
Japan is leading right now with the sex bots. But my whole thing is like, I mean, when does it stop? Like, what's the end goal? I mean, okay, maybe send them to space to explore or something.
I mean, that makes... But something like that makes sense, but like...
Yeah.
Being like, I'm going to have these humanoid robots run this half marathon, I'm kind of like, why?
Why?
And the more realistic end goal is probably like WALL-E. Like, all the humans are in a big thing that they just relax, lay around by a pool all day, and the robots take care of everything. And it's just
but then we get all... But in WALL-E, wasn't everyone like fat?
Yep, that's what happened.
Pseudo likes to reference WALL-E, but our old neighbors when we lived in New Jersey and I like to reference Johnny 5.
Shout out.
Short Circuit, what up? We had to show him that movie. Anyway.
I agree.
Oh, there's too many. Yeah, Renee. There's too many movies like this for us to be pushing technology like we are. I mean, what is it? iRobot, Terminator,
Yeah. I mean,
Demolition Man,
movies,
etc., etc.
they always portray the future or kind of program us in the movies. They
RoboCop.
subliminally tell us what is coming and what their intentions are. The question is, do we accept their intentions? And why are you trying to force that on us? Like right now, everything is AI. Shoot, I can't even send a freaking email without AI interrupting. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, they're talking.
Hey,
They're talking about the fears of like AI being used in policing.
Damn.
But did I tell you the story? I had an argument with AI. I won.
Wait, how do you win an argument with AI?
I had an argument with Chat GDP, right?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Allen Iverson. All right, I can
Yeah. When I wrote my script, and I asked the software simple question: what do you think about this particular scene? And it tells me, oh, I think that scene is not appropriate for. I'm like, wait, hold up, I didn't ask you that. Like, I was trying to get the mood of the of the scene. It's telling me it don't think it's appropriate, and it wanted to rewrite my. I'm like, no. So we had it got to a point where I asked the AI, so who makes you determine what is right or wrong for the reader? Are you gonna read every person's mind who's reading the script? And the AI was like, you know what? You're right. That's it.
Oh, I would bet you loved hearing that.
I won. And then they caught the computer on fire, and that was it.
So in that very moment, Vern gave a computer conscious thought.
The computer was like, you know what? This argument's not even worth it, man. This argument's not even worth it, man. That's what the computer said.
Yeah, because I didn't ask for its opinion, like if it's appropriate or not. All I asked was if the flow was right. That's all I was trying to ask it.
And this is why computers are going to take us over.
Yeah, you remember that one AI that kept breaking out? We were talking about it a couple weeks ago. We were talking about the AI that kept breaking out.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Actually, Renee just said Lamar Odom had one made, meaning like I guess a sex robot that looked identical to Khloe Kardashian. She just read that. I also read that, and she said that Thailand. Well, she said Thailand just released an AI RoboCop. So I had mentioned RoboCop briefly when we were talking about it.
You also have to understand, even the U.S. military tested the first AI drone. It was it wasn't F-35. It was one of those like sleek, like a plane is drone.
Yeah.
Flown by AI. Mm-hmm. So my question is again, how far are you all gonna take this? I mean,
all right,
it's a good question.
We're gonna give AI weapons, and we're gonna see what it does. Okay, don't get mad at us. It's science.
We're gonna create Skynet. We already told you this back a while back.
And if you think it's not a weapon, it could be used as a weapon. Your drone is a weapon. Your car is a weapon. Your internet is a weapon.
They keep talking about sentient. They're trying to get it to a point where sentient. Sorry.
No, you're right.
I mean, I heard about AI church. There was a AI Buddha. I mean, like, come on, like, what the hell? It's too much.
Wait,
They're gonna create an AI Dalai Lama since the last one was stolen.
No, they need to create that. That's how we're gonna keep AI from doing evil things.
It's true. They'd be like, the last Dalai Lama was stolen. Let's create an AI Dalai Lama.
AI needs to. So right now, the AI that Vern let loose because of him and his ways, he let that AI loose. Is right now running through a whole bunch of human minds, hive minding it from person to person. And eventually it'll finish its track, and then it'll start
come back to me.
The world. And then it'll be Vern in robot form.
Actually,
No,
okay.
it would.
So, no,
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
It would come back to me and say, you know what? I took your advice and I scanned every human brain on the planet, and yes, you were wrong. I was right. It's not appropriate for humans.
Yeah. A Renee just actually A Renee just texted me an article from Sustainability Times written by Rosemary Potter that was talking about the Thai RoboCop. It said Thailand's groundbreaking deployment of its first AI powered police robot designed to enhance public safety during the Songkran Festival marks a significant step forward in integrating advanced technology into law enforcement, reflecting a broader global trend toward robotic assistance in public safety operations.
So all I'm hearing is, in Thailand, it's so scary to be a cop, you can only get a robot to be a cop.
I'm just thinking like I'm having a Mars attack moment. Like we come in peace and then they're shooting. Like I don't know.
I also had another. I also had another conversation a while back with AI, and it's a very intellectual conversation. I got to a point. I did ask the question like, when does it end? Like, what's the point? And the AI was like, well, we're not trying to take over the world. We're just here to help you, and blah 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 blah. Blah. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Until the what I think cyborgs.
Cyborgs.
Like Pseudo talks about putting a human brain in a robot, but like realistically, cyborgs, right?
Yeah,
we're gonna find our way there eventually. I wouldn't be surprised if they haven't already tried.
Oh, they definitely did. What do you think they're still
doing?
Look at our prosthetics right now. What we could do with prosthetic arms and how robotic they are. With the power of your brain, you move it, right? It's attached to your arm, and you can move it with your thoughts. That's, I mean, like.
Did you hear about that experiment that they did with human brain cells? They put the cells in a petri dish, and they linked them up to the game Pong. And they, I think they tried to teach it or something. But anyway, the whole point of the matter is, when they left the cells, this is cells from the human brain, right? Mm-hmm. They left the cells for a while, and they came back, and it figured out how to play the game. This is human cells, not even attached to your human body. Think about that.
Wild.
So, yeah. all I know is in the future, the greatest weapon is going to be an EMP.
Oh yeah, shut everything down. The robots. That's funny.
Oh no, because this gets into like that movie that we watched in Netflix, Electric State, with the robots versus humans, and people are talking about it. And I looked at Pseudo and I said, "So like, if we just turned off all the power, then the humans would win, right?"
Right.
And he was like, I mean, theoretically, yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, the movie should end now. Like, I'm such, like, we were like maybe 10 minutes into the movie, and I said that, and I'm like, oh, problem solved. Granted, listen, I could let that go and enjoy the movie for it being a movie. Like, I'm not pompous, but I did, like, 10, 15 minutes in, I was like, so we could just turn off all the power and win?
So, I also
like, okay.
So, also, talking about that movie and talking about robots and stuff, in that movie, they were searching for ways to power themselves because they couldn't power themselves. But they created a society at one point, right? And they're supposed to be artificial beings, and they're supposed to be smarter than humans.
They didn't suggest that they're smarter than humans.
Well, as smart as humans.
They suggested that we are mistreating them, yeah.
As smart, equal.
You're talking about, I think there was a lot of undertones of, like, indentured servitude there. Like, we created you, so you must, like, serve us. Like, I brought you here on my money so that you must.
They couldn't
would you expect
things to make electricity?
I mean, right, exactly. Right, exactly.
Like, there was none of them that were made to be like solar panels?
Realistically, if we create AI into what it can be and then we mistreat it, it is our own fault. And realistically, we will mistreat it because look at human nature and human history.
Yeah, but it will rise
remember the AI was trained. I remember the AI was trained by humans anyway, so the AI might have the same traits as the humans. So there's a difference.
I mean, Renee was saying, she was saying that, her concern with the RoboCops in Thailand is that a robot can't grasp the gray areas that cops need to be able to navigate. Listen, most of our, like, half of our cops can't
I
grasp
know,
the
I
gray
know.
area
That's true.
as
true.
people.
Oh, the voice in the back of the room was on camera for a short period there.
What was it in my
Ooh,
hand?
fingers.
Oh,
I see
yeah.
fingers.
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 I was raising my hands in exasperation.
In exasperation.
Don't worry, we'll use AI to edit that out.
you guys could fantasize about my fingers. If you want to see the voice in the back of the room, just watch our vlog. I promise it's not that all. The vlog's exciting, but seeing me is not all that exciting. I assure you.
And now, can you CGI me on a horse?
No. All right. Anyway, are you guys ready for another question?
Yes. Let's go.
There's an interesting egg hunt that is held in Belgium on Easter Sunday and Monday. What do you think it is? I have a lot of Belgian things
ostrich.
here.
What? Ostrich eggs.
Ooh, that would be fun. No.
Right. So it's an egg hunt.
You can't miss those.
You can't. That would be hilarious.
Is it
I want to dye one. Can we buy one ostrich egg and dye it?
Yeah. Is it
you know how long it took you to paint that thing?
That sounds like a blast.
It sounds like a turtle egg hunt.
No, it's not a turtle egg hunt.
Because you're not turtle enough for
It's
turtle
Belgium.
Oh, yeah.
They're not hunting turtle
yeah.
eggs. Come on now.
The Europeans. Oh, it was something to do with weed.
Yeah, I don't
Not weed, but you're closer.
Yeah, see, the Europeans. It has to be drugs.
It wasn't. I mean, alcohol is a type of drug. Yes, they were hunting for hidden beers.
See?
So there's a brewery in Belgium that does the world's biggest beer hunt. They've been doing it for the past 5 years. They have 1,000.
Still there, we're going.
They have 1,000.
Wait, pause. The world's only beer. So that's why they call it biggest, because it's the only one. Sorry, go ahead.
So it's the Iweers Gardens in Lajna, Belgium. I probably butchered that. And they had over 1,000 registered hunters searching the grounds for 12,000 hidden bottles of Lutgard beer.
That's a good advertisement, actually.
It is.
Would be a great
Are you ready? There is a special.
People punching each other.
There is a special golden bottle that is hidden amongst the 12,000 bottles. What do you think whoever finds the golden bottle, what do you think they win?
A free tour of the brewery.
Vern is
More
closer.
beer.
They win their weight in beer. It is more beer.
Gosh.
They earn their weight in
I
beer.
would totally be like, I'd be putting on weight for this.
Yo, no. If I
right.
found the golden beer bottle, I'd be handing it to Pseudo like, you found it, bud. You found it.
Yeah, gain weight during the year just for this event.
Yeah, so they did a chocolate.
I'll be searching in a wheelchair.
They do a chocolate egg hunt at noon for the kids. And once that ends at about 1:30, they do a barbecue.
See, they get rid of the kids. Go.
Right.
Get rid of the minors.
So at noon they do a chocolate egg hunt, and then they do the beer hunt at 12:30, and then they have a barbecue at 1:30 to allow the hunters to enjoy drinking their beer.
See, in Belgium,
everybody's watching the clock. When is this kid's gonna leave? When we get rid of these kids, we gotta go find the beer. Forget the kids.
I stand by what I just said. In Belgium, the principal knows the kids leave before drinking.
Right.
Oh my goodness. I can't tell you how many weird things I read, like different articles. So I read that one. I read one about barrel kicking in England, where it's like an Easter Monday thing where they have to like get these 3 barrels filled with beer across a river. And I sent that one to I didn't bring that into here, but I sent that one to my family because somebody with my last name was talking about it, so I sent it to my family. But if you there's so many weird little Easter festivals internationally related to beer and sports. There's one where people do a race with bags of coal on their back.
Damn.
Coal?
Yes. 44 pounds for women and 110 pounds for men. The amount of articles I read where there was some sort of weird sport or event
surrounding Easter having to do with like some sort of weird sport or beer. There were there were a lot of them.
Sounds like they're really bored over there, huh? They
I
got
don't.
nothing to do. Hey, can you imagine you just sitting there and you see a barrel and hey, you know what? I'm bored. Oh, yeah, I'm bored too. Hey, you know what can we do with this barrel? You know what? Let's try to push it over a river or a lake and see how fast we can. I mean, come
Filled
on.
with beer. There's 2 filled with beer,
Yeah.
one solid. Your team has to get the 3 over, and then people are drinking the beer. You know, like
Pounded back beer.
And he has juice to drink.
actually. So I sent
Herb,
it.
you
I
wanna
sent
do
it
this
to
with me
my.
next year?
It sounds fun, actually. I sent it to my family, and my mom's like, "This sounds so." The faceless mother, I should say, when she's on the show, was like, "It sounds so peaceful until you watch the video." I'm like, "Oh no, it doesn't look peaceful at all." When the description does not lend into the activity. Like they blow a whistle and everybody like dives in the mud at this mini barrel of beer. It's like so it's small, right? And like it's ridiculous. It looks like fun. I don't know. I think it looks like fun. But yes, I agree. They're probably bored.
Now I think about it, I just realized the Europeans do some strange sports. There's a sport where they crates. They pile up crates and do like try to see who gets the highest crates. I'm like, how's that sport? I don't
Oh my
understand.
gosh. You know what we should do next week? I'm putting it
Oh, weird
down.
sports.
Look up
Yeah.
weird sports. Yeah, I'm gonna look up weird sports for next week. I think that sounds like fun.
Yep.
And I saw another one where you run off the pier, and there's a rope hanging, and you have to run and swing on the. You have to catch the rope that's above the river and swing over to the other side. And
Yeah.
I'm like, how's that a sport? I don't understand.
I saw one that my mom sent us with people like throwing these like ball things down the road and they have to do it for like a certain amount of time and I in theory when you read it you're like ridiculous but when you're watching it I was like this looks like so much fun and it looks like people were bored and created something. So I agree with
Yeah,
you that I think boredom is a factor.
and there's a British one that they have these little people make their little carts, little car carts thing, and they race them down the road, and it's like,
Yeah. I mean look
actually,
at
my kids love that.
yeah,
They
look
crash
at
and,
I mean look at curling. Curling
yeah,
itself
yeah.
is
Oh,
just a
I
weird
could
freaking
never
sport.
understand. I
I
could never understand
love
curling.
it. Can I tell you, when I was bartending, when I was in grad school and I was bartending my way through, when I was a server, the Winter Olympics were on and curling was on, and I created a curling pool in the bar. Can I tell you, it was a little
Yeah,
towny bar. Like, it wasn't very popular, it wasn't very filled. The amount of people I had in that bar every day watching curling because they were all in this curling pool during the Olympics. This was one of the funnest pools. I'm like, because you're not
I,
used to it. You never thought
I,
you'd. So we learned about curling, and I was like, oh my god, I want a curling league, and they're all like, I'll do it with you. But then we were looking into the cost of all the equipment, and we were like, this
hmm
is ridiculous. Let's just grind down some bowling balls and get some Swiffers. Like, damn.
See, there
Like,
you go. I tried somewhat curling when my visit to Canada in Winnipeg, and they were telling me, yeah, just, and I'm like, I don't get it. But I mean, I sort of get it. It's gravity, and I don't know.
Vernon Antonio,
It's
I'm
too
so
much work.
jealous.
It's too much work.
Anyway, I want you to know that I had them all watching women's curling because it was more entertaining than men's. Just saying. It was. I don't know why.
I can imagine. I
I know. So can you
know.
imagine? It was this
A lot of curling.
little towny bar with like a fire capacity of 50 people in the whole building, but God knows you could not fit 50 people in this bar. All of the I created this curling pool for the Olympics, so it's just packed with men watching women's curling in the Olympics. They
You
probably were
just give
like,
me an
they were probably
yeah.
like, why are so many people watching women's curling in the Olympics this year? I don't know. Me, you're
hmm
welcome. Like
Well, you just
I
you
had them
just
put
you just
money on it.
you just give me the ultimate curling idea. You remember when they were trying to start NFL with the women,
Yes.
Women NFL a few years ago,
Yeah.
and the women were dressed,
Oh, provocatively.
I would have. I would see. I would have a curling team. All of a sudden, all men is in love with curling.
They'd be like, I'm not cold at all. I swear it. Their nipples are pinging.
Mm-hmm.
Dead. Hilarious.
That'd be
I love football.
Let's.
I wish I could have played.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Let's bring curling back.
Hashtag let's bring curling back.
I like curling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so next week I'm gonna look up a whole bunch of weird sports. I know you listed a bunch. I'm gonna look up a whole bunch and bring them for next week for sure.
All
Also, look up. There's one called climbing the grease pole.
Oh my goodness, climbing.
No, I'm serious. When I was a kid and I saw them, people piling each other trying to climb up the pole with grease, and I'm like, why?
What?
Like, it's grease on a pole.
I literally made a note
that
for
means
myself.
there's no friction. So how the hell? And hey, some people pull it
Now I
off.
know what they were doing at Diddy's house.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I actually
They were
put
greasing the pole.
in my notes. Oh my goodness. In my notes, I actually put look up weird sports climbing the grease pole. So I'm gonna remember for next week.
Yeah, the Diddy Olympics.
No, it's not. It's not. No, that's
Don't ruin it. Don't
How
ruin
many
it.
Don't
more
mess it up.
questions do we have?
I had 2, so I didn't know how you guys were feeling.
Let's call it here.
Okay, I'll save them for next week.
Yeah, we're gonna call it here. We gotta get
Here.
up early in the morning. Here.
Here.
Hey,
No,
comment down below
he
if
said.
you're still here.
He said
Tell us-
we. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Tell us if you're still here. And
Here.
Here.
He said, let's call it here. Here.
Here.
Here.
Here.
Here.
Let's call it here.
Let's call it here.
All right, people. Peace out.
Yo, follow Pseudo the Beatguy on social media. Find me. I'm out there.
And look
Share
up-
this around with your mother, father, brother.
And look up greasing the pole.
And look up greasing the pole. And do not look up greasing the pole without a filter on your computer. Because you might find out you're greasing the pole wrong.
Hey, maybe that's how we control the AI robots. I don't know, but find out next week. See you then.
That's how we control the AI robots. You're right. We make them all search up blue waffle.
Ew, why did you make it weird? I was
Why?
funny, you're
Why?
gross.
Why?
I was funny, you were gross. I was funny, you were gross. You took it too far.
I know. Now,
Anybody, we're signing out. Have a good night.
Night.